One more, run it.
All right.
With the Detroit News, just curious, obviously year one starts now with building relationships and getting the environment you want, but what does success look like for you in just your first season?
Improvement. A lot of people talk about development, and we throw that word around. But a lot of times, and one of the things us as coaches did for so long, it was development only impacted individuals. Where we aim to go is where the development impacts winning. And how do we make our young guys and all of our guys, because the guys, they never stop getting better, but how do we make them better winners? Obviously we'll work on ball handling, shooting, all those things, but how does what you do impact winning? And you'll see the plays time and time again where guys are growing, to make the winning play. And that's what our focus is on. But again, this is going to be a fun situation, and like I said, by the end of this, you'll look at the team, and night by night, and I'm sure there's going to be some ups and downs, but you'll see a style of play, and you'll be able to recognize Pistons basketball.
And that's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear, because we can't set the expectations at playoffs or even play in, because you were statistically the worst team in the NBA last year. You were the worst team in franchise history last year. You were almost the worst team in NBA history last year. So you can't get too excited. You definitely got to tear things down and start over. But I like what he said there. This is a guy. He's a calming, professional, knows his shit, seasoned coach, and that's what you needed to kind of get this thing back on the rails. He said you got to improve, got to go out there and be better. And yeah, you can't not improve from 14 wins, but it sounds easy to say, but he's right. He said all the right things. You want to go out there. I would say they should at least double their win total. That would be my goal. If I had to put it on wax as the Pistons head coach, I would say we are going to at least double our win total from last year. And that might sound crazy, but they only won fucking 14 games. So it's not that crazy.
It's really not.
Yeah.
Caleb?
Yeah, I am so bought in with JB Biggerstaff. I'm just going to say it. And this is a hot take, and I've been thinking about it for a minute.
Uh-oh.
I think a lot of people are scared to say it.
Okay,
I know I didn't say I liked the Ron Holland pick, but other than that, I liked everything that happened this offseason. I don't think we're done either. I think a trade happens. I think there's not a very good, but I think there's a good chance that we're a play-in team this year.
I just need you to trust me. That's all.
JB Biggerstaff's philosophies on defense, I think we're going to get better on defense. I think Cade Cunningham's going to have an all-star year. I don't know if we'll necessarily see improvement by Asar Thompson shooting, but I think his versatility on defense is going to help us a lot. Tobias Harris, that's a nice add. He's going to shoot 37, 38% from three. And I think Duren improves on defense. Look, that's a hot take, and I'm gonna stand on it. I think the Pistons, there's a good chance that they're a play-in team this year. I'm bought in with everything he said in that presser today.
Wow.
Stoke not scared. Stoke not scared.
Play-in team's like
Stoke
36 wins.
Stoke.
I'll say that. 36 wins, play-in team. I'm gonna say it. And I think people are scared to say it. I think you look at this roster, and it's not complete, but it's good enough in the East.
Yeah, Hawks are playing team this year. 36-46 is their record.
That's what I was just looking up.
39-43. I don't know, bro.
I know it's hard. It's hard to, you won 14 games last year.
Yeah.
So it's hard to picture a world where you're even in contention to even be close to the playoffs. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just really like what I did. We added shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's obviously biased, but I don't know. There's just something in the air.
I just can't do it again. I can't be even though this is way different. It feels way different.
Yeah.
The players we drafted are the players we added are way different because they're actually guys who aren't black holes. They're actually guys who fit and play their roles very well. But I just can't be yep, we're going to the play-in again because I've been doing that for 3 years.
I know. I just feel like people are afraid to say it this year. Yes.
Guilty as charged. I'm 100% afraid to say it.
And it's understandable.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
Well, at 36, 39, I'm just not, for me, if the Speakeasy Sportsbook is open, I would put the over-under. I think I said it before the show before. It's 23.5. Yeah. Maybe 25.5 after today's press conference. 36, 39 is still kind of steep for me. Yeah. Would I be surprised if they made a play-in and rather than a playoff? Yeah, pleasantly. I guess not as surprised I would be if obviously they made a fucking playoff. But it's a big jump, man.
Well, this is my issue with making that jump is, yes, I like everything that was done, but you have Duren, Stewart, Holland, Asar, and Ivy all in the rotation. That's 5 of your 10 guys in the rotation that you're expecting to take leaps beyond the obvious Cade Cunningham leap that you're expecting. So I just think I think if everybody took the step that you want them to take, then yes, this could be a play-in team. How many times do you see a young team that's this young and everybody takes that step? It's really, really rare. I mean, you could point to OKC last year. It's probably one of the only teams where every young guy that needed to take a step took a step, and they got to where they want. And that just doesn't happen often enough in the NBA. So you're right that a 36-win season is possible for the Pistons, but you'd have to count on every single young player making a jump, and history tells us that not every player is going to make a jump. Some will, some won't.
Can I be honest? I don't even know if you need every young player to take the jump as much as Cade Cunningham. Like, I feel like he finally got in a little bit of groove last season.
Massively.
I think there's some extra confidence that he's had instilled in himself, giving him that contract, despite the injuries and whatnot. Like, if he becomes the best version of himself, is that a 20-game jump?
I don't think you need Cade Cunningham to take a jump. I think you need to be Cade Cunningham from last year.
The
just
back half of last year.
With the people you had around you now, that is more than he played at an all-star level last year. If he was doing that with these players around him, the only player I really need to see the biggest jump on this team is Jalen Duren's defense. Outside of Asar's shooting, obviously, but like you've got the veterans in here now that you know what you're going to get from. Cade Cunningham was playing at an all-star level last year. If you get a big jump from Duren and his defense and Asar shoots near 30%, then yeah, I could see that happening.
You're talking yourself into it. That's what I did earlier.
Yeah, it's gross. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's gross.
I think that's a great point about Duren's defense, but I think Cade, I know you say if he just stays the same, I think he's set up now with actual people around him to be a top 15 type player like we thought we were getting when we brought him in.
Yeah.
Like a multi-time all-star, all-NBA level type leader. I believe Cade can be that. So I think that's the most likely thing to happen. I don't know if I can depend on the 20-year-old Duren to take that massive defensive leap, which we hope he does.
Yeah.
Because obviously it is a big deal to still play defense in the modern NBA, everybody. It's still you need a good defense. All right, don't think I hate defense here. But I think I could definitely see Cade turning into a superstar. And I think that's probably most likely to happen.
To be honest, I think Bickerstaff can bring that. I don't think it's going to be a massive defensive leap, but I definitely think he'll bring a defensive leap out of Duren somewhat in some form or fashion. Just one, through a natural development. He's only 20 years old.
Yeah.
And two, I put it in this instinct. And actually might be the same. It was the same draft class. Shaden Sharp. You guys think he's going to stay the same as what I think last year he finally jumped like 15 points? You think he's staying there?
No.
He's just as young as Jalen. I think he's older than Jalen Duren. Not mistaken. If someone wants to confirm that or not. Duren was the youngest player in that draft class.
He was.
You expect him to take a jump, right?
Yeah.
Duren, expect that same thing. And on top of that, too, look at Duren's numbers. And they're very minimal because, again, he's a young guy in the league and did not play defense well. But his defensive numbers in his rookie year were better under Casey than they were the fucking terrorist Monty Williams.
Yes.
So, like, I think there's going to be a natural jump, just him getting better. And two, actually having a coach that gives a fuck. And maybe throwing a three at being JB Bickerstaff, who's just famously kind of known around the league now for his defense.
And his defense and his development.
Famously known
his
for that
development
D.
of young guys. Like Aquaro developed under him. Darius Garland developed under him. Evan Mobley developed under him. Like Jaron Allen. Yeah, Lauri Markkanen developed. He turned into a fucking all-star under the guy. Like this is fuck you, Sess. Like I don't want to believe.
I want pizza.
Yeah, damn it, I want pizza, not Pistons. No, but if everything goes right, but it's crazy for me to think that everything's going to go right with the Pistons just based on the trajectory of the franchise the past 10 years.
Yeah, I totally agree. But like I said, there's just something in the air right now, and obviously a lot of things have to go right. But like you guys said, I mean, if Cade takes that all-star leap, and the one thing we needed was shooters around him, and Trajan delivered. And yeah, if he takes that all-star leap, if he gets up to 26, like 27 points, 7 assists, I mean, this looks like a playoff team. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just think I think ultimately you're counting on too much growth from the young guys, because I do assume that Cade will make that step, but I just think in order to get 36, I think
36 is
Asar,
aggressive.
Asar has to hit a ceiling. The most important one was the one you brought up, Spencer, was Duren has to become a defensive, not just a defensive center, but a defensive anchor.
Yeah.
And I think that asking those two alone are going to be big, and then you're asking for a big step in Ivy, because remember, this team still didn't get a veteran point guard, and that's going to be an issue. That's going to be something I'm going to be hammering home this season, is Cade and Ivy both turn the ball over a lot. And when you're a young team that's building a defensive identity that from scratch and figuring things out offensively and have all this interchanging parts, yes, the roster's a lot better, but you have two guys that are going to be handling the bulk of the possessions with high turnover rates.
Yeah.
And so that's going to always put you at a disadvantage too, on top of just the other things that come with being young and integrating a team. Nick, what's up?
Go get one.
What about the late first rounder of last season who played 4 years in college, and Marcus Sasser, who's a dead-eye shooter, and he can handle the ball well. Do you not have faith that he can take a leap? Or
I mean, but
not
he's
even
still,
a leap.
he's still.
We know what he
I
is.
love
He's
Marcus
a
Sasser.
sophomore player.
Yeah.
He's not a veteran
He's-
point guard. I like Marcus Sasser, and I like what he can be for sure. But the veteran point guard thing is definitely a big point of what you like. I saw people throwing around Tyus Jones out there.
Yes.
I would fucking love Tyus Jones on this team.
Yes.
You don't think Jared Jack can help them in that sense?
He can definitely help for sure, but again, it's just a thing you got to learn. And obviously, it's another year for Cade, so I expect the turnovers to go down a little bit, and especially with he's not going to have to make like. I feel like some of the turnovers for Cade Cunningham were really bad last year, just unforced, terrible turnovers. But I think a couple of them were also like him driving to the hole and being like, "Oh, I got to kick it out to these guys who shoot 20% from three."
Yeah.
But now he's got shooters out there that he can trust, so he's not going to have it in the back of his head like maybe they don't hit it. He's just going to kick it out, and it's going to be second nature.
JB Bickerstaff, defensive-minded coach. You want a veteran point guard on this team? Patrick
No,
Beverly's available.
fuck no, dude.
Just saying, Patrick
Not
Beverly's
a
out there.
chance. Give me Tyus Jones over Patrick Beverly
A
any day. of the
thick-ass
week.
Kyle Lowry.
I'll be
Shout out
honest with
Pat
you.
Bev
If they
Pod.
get Tyus Jones, then 36 wins is a very realistic opportunity for the Pistons. Like, that's how important a veteran point guard will be for this team.
Is Patty Mills still in the NBA?
I believe he is. I don't believe he signed anywhere. I believe he's a free agent still.
He's
I
kind
will-
of like a shooting guard.
Tyus Jones would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be ideal. Like if you move on from Stewart to free up a space and you go grab Tyus Jones, that would be huge.
I mean, I think you got 13 million, maybe a little bit more if you wiggle those exception rooms and stuff. And Tyus, what do you think he's getting? He's getting probably about 15, 16.
Probably,
so
yeah.
maybe it's within the math, or you do a sign and trade with Washington and send out a little bit extra to make it work. So
Washington definitely wants Isaiah Stewart.
they definitely need a center.
They need another center for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say plan. I'd like to see them double their win total. That would be a successful season for me.